Hello everyone, welcome to one more video. I am so happy to see you here. I hope you're doing well and feeling inspired. Today I wanted to talk to you about your four powers and how balancing these four powers can help you to live a fulfilled life in all the areas, in the relationships, health, career, and finances. So when you think about yourself, most likely you think about the image of your physical body, right? So we all have this tendency to identify ourselves as being the physical body, which is the only visible part of us, right? But this isn't true, right? Because we are not our physical body. We do have a physical body, but we are not only it. So we are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So we have a physical body, but we are not the body, right? Eventually, this physical body dies, but our consciousness, our spiritual essence, departs to another dimension, right? So we are consciousness incarnated in the physical reality, and in order for us to experience life here in this dimension and to express ourselves, we were given four powers, right? The physical power, the mental power, the emotional, and the spiritual power. Now, we can call these powers our bodies, right? So we have a physical body, a spiritual body, a mental body, and an emotional body. So we have our physical body, and which works as a vehicle that carries us through our experiences in the physical reality, right? So in order to live in this dimension, we need the physical body, right? So the physical body has the five senses: sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. And all the senses allow us to have many experiences, beautiful experiences, in the physical reality, because we can see, we can smell, we can touch, right? Now, we have as well our mental body, which allows us to think and to reason, to calculate, to decide, to understand the situations, right? And the mental body helps us to create new things in life, right? And to relate to people and reality in a more intellectual way. And we have our emotional body. So the emotional body allows us to feel our emotions and to experience reality through a feeling experiences. Now, emotions are energy in motion. So our emotional body is that part of us that feels this energetic movement, the emotions. And finally, we have our spiritual body, right? So, which is the part of us that's the closest to divinity, right? Is the part that's a little bit higher and is closer to the divine creator. Now, we are the sum of these four bodies, right? So we are physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional, all in one and at the same time, right? So as I speak to you now, using my intellectual mind, right, my mental body, I have also my spiritual body working with me, my emotional body, and my physical body, because I depend on the physical body to communicate with others, right? So, to live a healthy and joyful life, a fulfilled life, we need to learn how to balance these four powers, these four bodies, so that they can work in harmony, in alignment and harmony. So we call these four bodies our powers, because we depend on them to live with fulfillment and joy. The four of them together in alignment, right? So each one of these bodies can open the door for our experience in this physical reality. By the way, are you enjoying this content? If you are, remember to like and subscribe. You can help me to grow this channel, and then more people will have access to this content. Thank you so much. So we call these four bodies our four powers, right? And to live a successful and fulfilled life, We need to know how to work with each body and how to bring balance and energy into our lives by aligning these four bodies. um, each one of these bodies has specific needs, and these needs, they must be attained every day, right? And when these four powers, they are unbalanced, we face difficulties, stress, health problems, and mental and physical exhaustion, and so many other symptoms. So our good health, stamina, joy for life depends on the balancing of these four bodies. So let us look briefly into the specific needs of each one of these powers. So we balance the physical body by eating properly, drinking fresh water, sleeping enough hours, and exercising and stretching the body. That's what our physical body needs, right? Every day a little bit. So our physical body works as a vehicle for all the other bodies, right? Without the physical body, I cannot have a mind, I cannot have my feeling body, and I don't have the spiritual part of me connecting in this reality, right? So we need the physical body. It is very important to us to take care of this body so we can express our consciousness in this physical reality. Now, unfortunately, our physical well-being can be jeopardized greatly by contemporary lifestyle, right? Because many times we do not eat the best food. We do not eat our simple and fresh food. We do not drink enough water. We get dehydrated, and we don't stretch our body. We don't exercise, and this is very detrimental for the body. So our physical body is deeply impacted as well by our emotional body and our mental body. Now, we balance our emotional body by allowing our emotions to pass through, right? Without judging, without criticizing how we feel, but rather by just allowing, and of course, allowing the emotions to pass is the opposite of holding tight, right? So it seems so easy, right? Oh, okay, let us the emotion pass, but it isn't so easy necessarily, because most of us, most people really never learned how to deal with the emotions, right? Many times we suppress our emotions, don't have the time to be dealing with the emotions, right? And you hold the breath when you are in the middle of a stress in life, in the middle of a situation that is stressful, is painful. We tighten up, we hold the breath, and we don't allow the emotions to pass, so they get locked in the body. So we should always breathe very deeply and slowly when we are feeling upset or emotional pain. That's how we deal with our emotions. So our emotional body needs a time to process these feelings, these emotions that we experience each day. So when we do not allow the emotional body to express itself, we might cause problems in our physical body, right? And if we hold on to negative emotions, or if we ignore our emotions, if we suppress how we feel, then all this energy becomes blocked, and we can feel our physical body with lots of tension. So we might develop pain, or sometimes we might get even sick. So the physical body works closely to the emotional body, and they affect each other, right? Our emotional body affects the physical body directly. Now, our mental body is considered the most important, right? And it's the most congested as well, because many of us, right, we grew up with this focus in the mental body, right? You needed to learn, you needed to go to school, and in school you get all this information. So we end up developing sometimes neck pain, shoulders, and all sorts of pain in the head, because we are neglecting our physical body. So the mental body is very connected with the emotional body as well, right? So our thoughts, can cause us to feel scared, to feel tense, overwhelmed, or it can bring us joy and relaxation. So the mental body affects the emotional body, and the emotional body affects the physical body. So the mental body and the emotional body both affect our physical body directly, right? Now, we balance our spiritual body by allowing time every day for spiritual practice such as prayer, meditation, contemplation, and creative endeavors. So our spiritual body affects all the other bodies as well, and it is essential that we reserve time every day to work with our spiritual body, right? So it is very common for a person in our contemporary society to overwork the mental body, right? And to forget about the other three bodies. Because, our culture, most of us, I guess, went to school and what the school does, right, is sit you down and give you a lot of information. You have to memorize the information. Nowadays, the schools are a little bit better. They are teaching how to reason, intellectually and logically, but it's still a lot of work with the mind, right? And normally schools they tend to do not value so much physical education, arts, meditation, right? So we grew up into this world or where people value too much of the mental aspect and ignore all the others. Now, how can we balance our powers, right? How can we balance these four powers, these four bodies, to live a fulfilled life? So we need to look into our activities that we do every day and check to see if we are giving attention to the four bodies that we have, right? Now, I have here an exercise that I have been doing for myself. And this exercise is kind of a map of the bodies and can help you to organize your thoughts. So I prepared this exercise many years ago when I was going through a lot of problems, chaos in my life. I was not well, I was getting sick a lot, and my life was like very unbalanced, right, upside down. So I'm gonna share with you the exercise that I created for myself, and I think that works very well. You let me know if you like, right? So you get a piece of paper and you divide this paper into four squares. So in the middle of the paper, you write I am, and in each square, you're gonna write spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, right? And this is I call this the balancing the four powers map. So essentially we are doing an exercise that we focus like I am spiritual, so what do I do spiritually? I am mental, what I am doing? I am emotional, and I'm physical, right? So this exercise, the best way to do that is that every night before you go to bed, right, you're going to do a little revision of your day. Remember this idea of revision that we spoke about in another video. So what it is that you get every night and you look into this paper over here, right? And you go writing, what did I do today spiritually, right? For instance, I have it here that I did. For instance, what did I do yesterday? I did the Ho'oponopono cleaning, I did some meditation, and I also did prayers. I like to pray, right? On my own way. So I worked well with my spiritual body. Uh, Now, what did I do into my mental body? Oh, I did a lot, right? I finished some coursework I was doing. I prepared some documents. I read a few chapters of a book I am reading, and I prepared many other things that I have to for my channel over here, right? And then what did I do in my emotional body, right? Well, I didn't do so well in there. What happened is that I felt something passing by, some sort of sadness or grief, and I didn't want to deal with that. I wanted to just focus on the activities I was doing. So I didn't allow myself to feel what was coming through, right? And in the physical, I also didn't do so well because what happens that, I was so excited doing my mental work that I didn't eat so well. I just grabbed something quickly and I didn't eat. I didn't drink enough water. And, I didn't take good care of my body, right? So, you can write it down in the papers like this, right? You see over there, like, what did you do, right? What did you do in this day? So yesterday, I did this yesterday, and even though I understand that I have to allow my emotional and my physical, take care of my emotional body, my physical body, what happens is that, just like everybody else, I tend to favor two of the bodies. I love working with my spiritual body. I love doing the Ho'oponopono every day. I really do the cleaning. And I love to work with my mental body, to be thinking, strategizing, reading books, right? And I end up neglecting my emotional body and my physical body. And and when we neglect one or the other body, we cause imbalance, right? So what did I do today? Today in the morning, I worked with my emotional body. I went in my emotions. Okay, what is going on? What do I need to feel now that I didn't allow yesterday? And also I am eating better today. I'm drinking water, right? We needed to hydrate ourselves because, or otherwise, we become sick. So this is how this exercise can help you. Okay, you can put it down in there, and if you do this every night for a week at least or 2 weeks, you're gonna notice that you probably have some patterns of behaviors in there, right? For instance, in my case, I favor the spiritual and the mental. I am always like very happy to be there. And the other two, I am like not so happy about it, right? So looking at that, it can help me to realize, okay, I have to take better care of my physical body. So I go buy my vegetables, I cook my food, I remember to bring you water, to drink water, So this can help us. Now you can try if you want. It can help us to see if we are doing daily activities for each one of these bodies, right? Because each one of them needs to be attended to every day a little bit. Now, how can the Ho'oponopono help us with this balance? I found out that, the hard breathing and the blue solar water, it is absolutely helpful to balance the physical body immediately, right? Because what our physical body needs the most, it needs oxygen and water. So oxygen, it is in every second we are breathing, right? We need to breathe and breathe properly, and we need water to hydrate our physical body because many times we eat when we should be drinking water because it's not hunger, but it is dehydration. And we need our body, our physical body, to express all the other bodies. So without breath and without hydration, proper hydration, clean water, right? Without sugar, without anything, we feel exhausted, we feel cranky, and we have low energy. So it is very hard for the other bodies, the mental body, the spiritual body, the emotional body, to express their power, to help us if we are without breath, without the proper oxygenation, and without hydration, right? So the physical body is a vehicle for all the other bodies. So we must care for our physical body so it become a good vehicle, right? For our ideas, our emotions, our spirituality. And this map can help you to do that. You can try and look into, for instance, if you have tendencies, right? If you spend the whole day meditating, for instance, and don't want to deal with the other body, or if you do very well for your physical body, you eat, you exercise, you are super okay with that, but all the other bodies, they are unbalanced, they are not part of your life. Now, this map can help you look into the imbalances you have, right? In the patterns of neglect, and it is a good opportunity for correction. And in order for you to get balance, you need really the hydration, water. If you make the blue solar water, I have a video in the channel, I'm gonna leave the links below, making blue solar water every day, right? And doing the hot breathing at least once a day. If you can do more than once a day. And this alone, the hot breathing and the blue solar water, is gonna bring your physical body in a state, in a better state for you to proper care for this body and all the other ones. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and let me know if this exercise works for you. Okay, let me know what you think about that. And thanks for watching. Aloha, and until the next video.